Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from New York City. And today we're going to be talking about what Vince McMahon said yesterday in his stock market phone call that he does quarterly, and how he loves trolling the fans and whatnot. And then you have the apologists backing him up on this bullshit comment he made on the phone call. Now, if you guys did not read what he said on this phone call yesterday, it was all over Fight Food Select. It was all over Wrestle Talk. He claims that AEW is not competition. Now, when he said that, I said this man has to be really trolling the fans. You have to be trolling the fans because there's no way in the world you're gonna go and say that after almost 2 years. You've been trying unsuccessfully take this company and make it pretty much non-relevant. Because at the same time, if you claim that AEW is not a competition, why is AEW the talk of the town now in professional wrestling? Oh, I forgot. WWE is not professional wrestling. It's sports entertainment, right? But they mention wrestling. That's what they do. They do wrestling, right? But it's sports entertainment, right? So when he says that, I had to laugh because he says, "Oh, they know WCW." No, they are way better than WCW. WCW throughout the years when they started competing with McMahon in the early 1980s, they were always competing with McMahon as far as from the time 85 all the way to 89. There was competition with each other, but WCW was never able to pull off and get that golden brass ring, if you want to call that, and to beat WWE because WWE back then, even though a lot of their characters were cartoonish like the British Bulldog, the Hart Foundation, Power and Glory, the Road Warriors went there, the Steiner Brothers went there, the Brainbusters who are with Tully Blanchard, Arn, they all went there. WWE was on top of their game. They were never able to beat WCW. It wasn't until they created the NWO in the 90s where WCW was on top of the game. But of course, Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan pretty much killed that, and then Vince Russo just put nail on the coffin. So when McMahon says that AEW is not a competition, then why in the world were you trying to stop AEW from succeeding? Okay, succeeding in wrestling when you put NXT against them. You didn't put SmackDown and you didn't put Raw. If they're not competition, why you didn't put Raw against AEW when they started in October 2019? No, you put NXT. And then once you saw the NXT couldn't beat them and whatnot, you moved them to Tuesday. If they're not competition, you don't have to worry about moving them to Tuesday. But you did. Because at the same time when you moved them to Tuesday, you were destroying NXT. Because a lot of the wrestlers that were NXT were brought up to the main roster and they were pretty much over and done, and a lot of them have not recuperated. Especially Ricochet has been one of the Aleister Black and Andrade were the guys that were former NXT champion. They no longer with the company. Okay? And you have the balls and the audacity to say that you don't see AEW as a competition because they're not the next WCW. Actually, that's where you're going to be wrong. Because WCW, yes, they died 20 something years, but AEW has something that WCW didn't have. Okay, and has more promotions working with them. Yes, that WCW used to work with New Japan, but in Mexico, we're talking about AEW working with New Japan, Impact, NWA, Ring of Honor may be in the mix also. You got AAA Wrestling from Mexico. And you got people coming in and out of AEW showing up because of this forbidden door. But, McMahon's going to say this because he know he has a fan base that don't know shit about wrestling. Okay? 90% of them don't know shit about wrestling. Okay? Because if you think about it, not a couple of days ago, some troll had the nerve to say that Eddie Guerrero was not an A player. Okay? He called him a B player. Okay? They even Mick Foley had to say something. That goes to show you that this is the fan base that WWE has. Okay, and a lot of the fan base that WWE has a lot. It's the same fan base that were back in '97. They were cheering for The Rock, they were cheering for Stone Cold, and they were cheering for all these people. Okay, and if you say no, I wasn't, I came after that, then it's even worse. Because you don't know your history. You don't know the history of wrestling. Okay, but yeah, you want to come and attack people like me, who's been watching wrestling for 40 plus years or 45 plus years, okay, and seen every damn uh, genre from wrestling they had coming in and out. The Hogan era, the Ric Flair era, the NWA days. Okay, we're talking about also. I saw the NWO era, the ruthless aggression by WWE and the Attitude era. I saw all that. Okay, but now this generation of wrestling fans, what they do is they attack you first, try to make you look stupid, but they don't do the research. Okay, and then they go and pretty much they clap for this old man who's out of touch, who thinks that a Charlotte Flair winning 11 world titles and whatnot is considered the greatest women's champion ever. Yet she loses the belt 11 times. Okay, the Karrion Cross situation that I keep getting bugged about and whatnot, and they know who it is, who that person is. When I said it, bugging me about is the fact that you don't get, or wrestling fans don't get, the reason why I'm not for this, and a lot of people agree with me. You have a Jeff Hardy. Yes, Jeff Hardy is a future Hall of Famer, but when he came back, he's been jobbing to guys like Jinder Mahal's bodyguards for the last 2 months. He's been a jobber. You understand what jobbing means? He's been jobbing out to other people. Okay? Then you put him in the ring with the NXT champion, who's been undefeated for 2 years. 2 years. And you go and give him his first loss to Jeff Hardy. And on top of that, he used heel tactics to roll him over. And you say that I don't have patience. Patience for what? In case you did not hear, and in case you've been under a rock, okay, they were planning to do the same thing this week. And the only reason it didn't happen is because Jeff Hardy had COVID. So he wasn't able to perform. So they put him against Keith Lee. And to top it off, Keith Lee is another guy that this guy was very entertaining in NXT, was doing stuff that big mans don't even do today. Rarely, there's very rare guys doing stuff on a top rope with him and Dominic Dijak. Another guy they have even he's not even mentioned. They put him in Retribution. He is now what T-bar, T-bag, whatever he is. Another guy. Okay. And what they did, you don't hear from him. Keith Lee right now, he got put a choke out by Karrion Cross, or he got put in and he gave up. When these two faced off last July for the NXT title, Keith Lee passed out. He didn't give up to Karrion Cross. And you telling me that I need to have patience? Come on. Come on, guys. It's just, if you're a wrestling fan and you know you're wrestling, you know better than that. The booking has been illogical in WWE for the past year since the Thunderbomb. Thunderbomb, I call it, because that shit was garbage, that Thunderbomb. Dumb shit. Okay? Everybody being online and people, they telling you what to do, clap and cheer. Really? So this is what the WWE Universe has been programmed like robots? Do this, cheer, clap, blah, blah. Come on. And honestly, I keep it real. This podcast is about keeping it real. I keep it real 100. Whether I lose fans or not, I keep it 100. Because I'm not going to come in here on my YouTube channel and bullshit you. Especially when WWE and Vince McMahon is talking about, oh, AEW is not competition, which is bullshit. Because if it wasn't competition, then why the hell you did the Great American Bash using WCW pay-per-views on NXT and Halloween Havoc just to try to beat uh, NXT? I mean AEW in the Wednesday night supposedly war that was never real. Okay, and now you think WWE is not backpedaling? They're backpedaling. Come on, they're talking about going back to Saudi Arabia. They brought back Oberg for what? You could bury your champion, Bobby Lashley, and give the belt back to him. But this guy just lost to to Drew McIntyre in January and Royal Rumble? Okay, you tell me. You tell me. And in reality, you got a lot of apologists who think that they're doing plans for Carrie Club now. The word is that Scarlett Bordeaux is going to be with them. They know they fucking know. They know it. They know it. They see it. They know it. But for McMahon to say that he's not worried about AEW because they're not competition, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. He would have never done any of the stuff that he's been doing for the last 2 years. Okay, because he knows you could, and they backpedaling right now. They backpedaling. They're not. I'm not saying that AEW is going to overtake them because they're not. Because WWE is still the biggest company in the world, but they're not using that money to, to on the product. They're not. They're using all that money to create new entrances. That's what they're doing. That's all they're doing. And the way I'm looking at it, this generation of WWE fans, they follow this product and don't want to, they will act like they're not doing nothing wrong. It's the same fans who still wishing that WWE was had the Attitude Era, and and those who especially these clowns who they go and clap for Alexa Bliss, who stolen everything from Bray Wyatt, his gimmick, everything. I mean, and Selena Vega, who came back to get hypnotized and walk backwards in a Money in the Bank. Tell me if this shit is wrestling. It's not. It's not wrestling. And for you guys who come and waiting like a little cat waiting for AEW to fuck up, you're sad saps. That's all I gotta say about that. But Vince McMahon again saying he's trolling everybody. And I'm gonna keep saying this, and I said this today in a Twitter when I was going back and forth with somebody. McMahon does not put it this way. WWE doesn't give a fuck about about their fans. They don't, because if they did, no, the product would not be looking like this. Okay? Would not be looking like this. They would not be treating anybody the way they brought John Laurinaitis for what? People power. For what? For what? He ain't shit. He's nothing. Bruce Pritchard almost got Impact a couple of years ago, almost out of business. The guy, he's a clown. These guys are clowns. And Nick Khan is the biggest clown of them all. I want to say, oh, we, we look at sleep as entertainment. Really? Shut the hell up, bro. Go find some more of the AEW, WWE guys. And also, I just got a a, um, a news here from Carl Anderson says that unhappy WWE stars regularly text him. What that tells you. There's a lot of WWE stars right now that probably not even happy. Carl Anderson, who has worked many matches for AEW recently, has said unhappy WWE stars regularly text him with their complaints. This comes after Vince McMahon made a comment on yesterday's WWE investors call that seems to suggest that he'd be okay with releasing more talent and letting them join AEW. But they goes to show you, he's going to push the same clowns that he has. They even word that Braun Strowman's going to come back. Braun Strowman's going to come back because nobody wants to sign him. Nobody wants to sign him after the stupid fucking shit he did on Twitter last year and on Evil Uno's Twitter account. Okay? So shortly before that, he said that he doesn't see AEW as competition like he saw WCW. Really? You know? And then Carter reacted to these comments, tweeting the amount of unhappy texts I get from people there. Well, the whole professional wrestling world is waiting for y'all. There you go. Being Impact World Tag Team Champion, being an AEW regular, and this is an example of someone who was let go by WWE and still made a success of his career after being let go. It's funny because every time a wrestler goes out of WWE, goes somewhere else, they become champions. They become champions. You know, they really, really become champions. AEW has already sold 10,000 tickets for Rampage, the first dance on the first day of pre-sale after heavily suggested that CM Punk will debut on their show. And that's another thing they said about CM Punk. They were angry at Daniel Bryan because he signed with AEW, but they're real more angry at CM Punk, claiming that AEW could take the headache. That shows you again, WWE not taking accountability on how they fired CM Punk, and if you guys have been on the rocks for the last 7 years, they fired him on his wedding day. So that's all I have to say right now on this weekly video roundup that I have, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report Extra. Again, guys, thank you for listening. Leave me your comment. Let me know what you think of. I honestly feel that McMahon is just in some other another world. I mean, if he's saying stuff like that and trolling, like I said, I'm not even surprised if he will sell the company. They're selling their stocks, and they're selling their shares, millions of shares. Something is up, and for them to say that he would gladly give AEW all the other guys that he could cut loose, so why don't you cut people loose? Cut them loose, cut Ricochet loose. You need somewhere new, you know. You got a bunch of guys in there that don't want to be. I'm sure that they're unhappy. So we'll see. Anyway, again, guys, if you want to follow me, guys, you follow me on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Facebook, um, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, you guys can follow me also on the website that I have, the tcwr.veryimpressive.com, which is also the home of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, apparels and gear. In there, they got the hats, they got the shirts. So you see the shirts right here. You can get them. And you can register to the site. You get the this type of video, and you get the audio podcast also on the site on the spot. Also, I got the audio podcast, like I said, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I do them Sunday and Thursday. On Thursday is the AEW Dynamite review, and on Sunday is the behind the curtain editions, depending on what's going on, or I'll review a pay per view that came on the night before. So I'm all over the place. And the audio, you can find me Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and any other major audio podcast that you guys like to listen to your favorite shows, guys. So, like I said before, you can find me anywhere in the social media. So, with this, guys, again, you like what you heard, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna get mad. I mean, you are allowed to have your own opinion. Leave me a message or leave me a comment or whatever. But also remember, I'm not gonna come in here and lie and talk out of my ass. Really, I'll tell you the truth. And we all know that WWE was nervous from September 2019 when they put NXT on the USA Network all the way to now, because now the Daniel Bryan, CM Punk sign. Now they're talking about, they're not competition. We'll see next year when the season, when actually at the end of the year, and where they're at, both of them at the same time. So with that, guys, you have a good night. Be safe and wear that mask if you have to. Have a good